Okay, good morning. So we will now start with our kinematic equation class. So this is after we've discussed um, graphical analysis of motion. So this is still part of motion. This time, this is now the computation part of motion. So what is kinematic equation? So kinematic equation, or it comes from this branch of mechanics. So we have here the bigger picture of the physics, and then physics has many branches, so I only have a few here written. So we have mechanics, thermodynamics, sound, optics, or about light, and then electromagnetism. So mechanics has four four subgroups, or let us say branches also. So we have classical mechanics. Classical mechanics refers to about Newtonian mechanics. So the physics of the concepts made by Newton, Isaac Newton. Remember Newton's laws of motion, the universal law of gravitation. So it is considered classical or part of classical mechanics. And then we have kinematics, the one we are going to discuss now. Then dynamics. This one has something to do with the causes of motion. This one is about motion, but we do not intend to include the cause of the motion. So we are only discussing or focusing on uh, the motion itself. So without the cause of motion, which is force. And then we have the statistical mechanics, which refers to the probability of finding a certain object. So this has something to do with probability of an object, or probability that refers to the motion of an object. So kinematics is a branch of mechanics that is concerned with the motion of objects without reference to the forces which cause the motion. So that's what I've said a while ago. So we have here motion, or objects moving. We have a ball moving from left to right, and we will consider that one as having a constant velocity because the surface is just flat, and we can see from there that there is no force acting on it. Although we will not be mentioning force here because this is not about dynamics, so this is about mechanics. And on the right, we have here a motion of an object, or of a metal ball rolling down an inclined plane. So if you observe, its velocity is slowly increasing. So increasing yung velocity. So if you recall our previous topic, so we have this one as the this one is in seconds, and this one is in meters. So we have here datas, or table of datas from a motion of an object. So we'll consider the one having a an increasing velocity. So it will have a graph that looks like this one. And if we convert that one into a velocity time graph, so we will have this kind of graph, a straight line graph. And then if we convert that one into an acceleration time graph, so it has a constant acceleration graph, or it is only flat, meaning it has a constant velocity which is at 10 meters per second squared. Now we will be focusing ourselves in order for us to derive a formula. We will be focusing on this graph, the velocity time graph. So in a velocity time graph, we have this kind of graph. So we know that we will always, since this one is a straight line graph, we will consider the slope of this straight line graph as always. So whenever you see a straight line graph, always consider the slope. So the slope of the graph is the rise over run, or that is the change in y, which is in this case our v variable, or the velocity variable, and the change in x, which is our x is the time variable. So that is, we have a formula: acceleration is equal to the change in the velocity over the change in time. We know that acceleration is a change in velocity over time. And so the slope of this velocity versus time graph is acceleration. So by definition, we already have defined acceleration as any change in velocity over time. So therefore, this change in velocity over time, the slope of this graph is considered acceleration or equal to acceleration. So since this one is a change in velocity, so therefore it has an initial velocity and then a final velocity wherein it is already a new value. So since this one is a change, so meaning to say your initial should be different from the final velocity. So that's why we will consider that change in its velocity. So simply, if we are going to have this equation change in velocity, the equation would be velocity final minus velocity initial. And since this one is a change in time, so that will be the time final and then time initial. So in terms of value, so the final velocity is right here. So if we are going to trace that one, the final velocity is here at 35. And then the initial velocity is at 25. You follow? And then for the final time, that is at 4 seconds. And the initial time is at 3 seconds. Do you follow? So substituting the values now of our acceleration formula, the change in velocity over time, we now have 35 minus 25 over 4 minus 3. And that is equal to 2. So meaning to say the slope of this graph is equal to 10. And that the value of acceleration is equal to 10. Okay? So we will now use that one as our equation 1. So we derive this formula from the graph, the velocity versus time graph. And that is just simply the slope of the velocity versus time graph since it is a straight line graph. Okay, going further. Now, to recall, the formula for distance is, or the velocity is distance over time. So rearranging the equation, we will have distance is equal to velocity times time. I hope you can just follow how I got this d equals v times time. So that is just simply cross multiply. So that is v times time equals d. Okay. So if you observe this value right here, if you look at here in our graph, that is the velocity times the time. So we are like getting the area under this curve. So the area under this curve, the whole area under this curve is the velocity, is the distance. So from velocity versus time graph, we can compute for the distance by multiplying the velocity with time. So the velocity in this case for this curve right here, for this perfect square or rectangle, is simply the amount of velocity times the amount of time. You follow? And we have here a triangle here. So simply the area of a triangle. So let's proceed. So again, simply to determine the distance covered or displacement, the total displacement covered by this object having a velocity time graph as a straight line graph of velocity versus time is simply to multiply the velocity and time, and that is the area under this curve right here. So we are focusing on this curve right here. So the whole area here is the distance covered by the object at that time interval. Do you follow? So let us now determine the area in this square and the area in this triangle. So the area of this square is, we have here, distance is equal to vi times time. Oh my god. So wala na nagkadimao. So to compute for the area in this triangle, in this rectangle, that is simply uh, velocity times time. And then the area for this triangle is 1/2 base times height. So if you recall, the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. And so here, it will also be 1/2 times velocity. Our base is velocity, which is this one, kaning a value right here. And then our time is, the height is this one, and the base is this one. So the base here is time, which is 4 minus 3, and the height is, that is velocity final minus velocity initial. So again, to expound this velocity here, that is velocity final minus velocity initial times time. Okay, do you follow? And then, so combining now the areas of this rectangle and the areas of this triangle with the following equation, this equation right here and this equation right here. So that will be 1/2 times velocity final minus velocity initial times time. And then for this one, that is velocity initial times time. You follow? Then going further, we have combining now, or let us say distributing 1/2. So you distribute na tong 1/2 diha, and also the time distribute na to diha. So that will be 1/2 velocity final times time. Then again distribute 1/2 here, and then distribute time here. So we have 1/2 minus, because that is in here minus, so minus 1/2 times velocity times time, plus you copy this one, that will be this one. And then simplifying further, or let us say combining terms. So we know that this term right here, VI times time, is the same as this one right here, VI times time. So we can combine this one. We can add this one. So we have positive 1 VIT minus 1/2 VIT. So 1 minus 1/2 is equal to 1/2. So copying only this term right here, okay, we cannot anymore combine this BFT to this equation, to this term right here. So it will be 1/2 velocity final times time plus 1/2 velocity initial times time. And then simplifying further, we know that 1/2 and time is common sa duha ka term. So this term right here has 1/2 time. This term also right here has 1/2 time. So we might as well combine 1/2 time and fuse velocity final and velocity initial. So the result will be distance or displacement is equal to 1/2 times velocity final plus, kay plus man ni dire, plus VI times time. Okay, so that will now be our second equation. So substituting the values here with our given here. So we have 1/2 times velocity final is 35. Velocity final is 35. Velocity initial is 25. Then time is 4 minus 3. So the answer is 30. Now, doing this one individually, meaning the area for this triangle right here, the area for this triangle right here, and the area for this rectangle right here. So for this triangle, 1/2 times velocity final, or 35 minus 25 times time, which is 4 minus 3. So the answer is 5. Plus the area of your rectangle, which is VI. So 25 times 4 minus 3 over time is 4 minus 3. So the answer is 25. So combining this one, 25 and 5, so we arrive at the same answer. So meaning to say, this equation right here is the sum of the two equations right here. Di ba lang? So we now have two equations. We have acceleration equals velocity final minus velocity initial over time. And the second equation is distance is equal to 1/2 velocity final plus velocity initial times time. Now for equation 3, we need to combine equation 1 and 2. So how do we combine that one? Now we need to combine this one in terms of BF, meaning we will have to eliminate BF in this equation right here. So meaning we will replace this BF right here with the equation of BF from this equation right here. Okay, let's proceed. So originally the equation 1 is BF minus BI over time, which is acceleration. And then rearranging that one, it will be BF equals acceleration times time plus BI. So again, cross multiply, then transfer the BI to the other side. So that's why we have from negative, BI now becomes positive. And then A times time is this one. And then our equation 2 is D equals 1 half BF plus BI plus time, times time. So we will substitute, or we will uh, insert this equation right here to that BF variable there. So as a result, so we have this equation 1 half times 80 plus VI plus BI. Now if you observe this one, we can combine that one to become 2VI. Do you follow? So the 2VI now is here, and then this is now the 2VI, and then distributing 1 half to 80, and then this t right here also distribute to 80. So this becomes 1 half 80 times t, or 1 half 80 squared. So that is this term right here. And then for this side right here, so distribute, so we have 2vi, and then we also have 1 half i-distribute na to sa 2vi, and then t i-distribute na to sa 2vi. So combining it becomes 1 half 2vi times time. Now if you observe, we can simplify 1 half and 2vi. We can cancel this out. That becomes now VIT. So as a result, we now have an equation 1 half 80 squared plus VIT. Or rearranging that one, the distance or displacement is equal to VIT plus 1 half 80 squared. Now this one will, if you want to compute for the displacement of an object, you can use this formula depending on the given. And our fourth formula, it will be a combination of 1 and 2. Now, if you observe, all of these kinematic equations are motions having acceleration. So, you can only use kinematic equations for motions having acceleration. In other words, kinematic equations is only for accelerated motion. If there is no acceleration, meaning velocity is constant, there is no change in velocity, then you can only use the formula, the v is equal to distance over time, because this formula is used for motions having constant velocity. You follow? So constant velocity. But if motions involving objects that are accelerating, meaning velocities are changing, increasing or decreasing, you need to use this formula right here, kinematic equations. Okay, moving on with equation 4. So combining equation 1 and 2, this time eliminate time. So meaning you will have to substitute this time right here with the equation for time of this formula. So let us proceed. So originally the equation 1 is velocity final minus velocity initial over time. So rearranging that one, so we have here the time. We need to replace that time with the time of equation 2. So rearranging this one, so this is the original equation. Rearranging that time, this equation to solve for time, it will be this one. So t is equal to 2d over bf plus bi. So simply cross multiply. That's why it is 2d, because we cross multiply distance and 2, and then denominator of distance times bf plus bit, and then dividing both sides with bf plus bit, we'll arrive with this equation. The time is equal to 2d over vf plus bi. Okay, so we will now substitute this formula to that equation right there. You follow? So it will now be VF. Dito naman. So VF so we will substitute this equation. So we transferred VI to the other side. So we transferred VI to the other side. That's why we have VF minus VI. And then retain A and T. So we replace the T. This one is the T value. This one is the T value from this equation. So simplify now. So you need to multiply numerator by numerator. So we have 2AD this time. So combining this 2A and this equation right here, it becomes 2AD over VF plus VI. You follow? Then cross multiply, we need to multiply VF plus VI and VF minus VI. So cross multiply na siya. So we now have VF minus VI times VF plus VI equals 2AD. And then combining these two binomials here, so we have VF times VF equals VF squared. And then negative VI times negative VI equals negative VI squared. You follow? And then you subtract this term right here and this term right here. That is combining binomials in your math subjects. So we now have this equation VF squared minus VI squared equals 2AD. So this will now be our fourth equation. You follow? So let us now apply this equation into a problem. So we have here our sets of equations on the left, and then we have here our sample problem on the right. So a baseball starts from rest and rolls 50 meters down a hill in 10 seconds. What is the acceleration? And what is the velocity after 10 seconds? So let us identify our given. So our given is 50 meters. So this is our distance or displacement. And then 10 seconds will be our time. And you should take note, there are a given that is not usually represented by a number. So for example, a baseball starts from rest, meaning its initial or starting velocity is from rest, meaning it's not moving, is 0. So initial velocity 0, we have time, and we have distance. So what formula here on the left we can use to compute for acceleration? So our formula should contain acceleration. So which equations 1 to 4, from equations 1 to 4, the only formula or equation that has acceleration is equation 1 and equation 3 and equation 4. You follow? So we will eliminate equation 2. Next, our formula or our equation should have VI, distance and time. So VI, distance and time. Now this one has no distance, so we cannot use this formula. I mean the given here. So might as well eliminate this one. Do you follow? And then here we have for equation number 3, we have distance, we have initial velocity, and we have time. So we want to compute for acceleration. So we can use this formula right here. What about equation 4? Uh, there is no time variable here, so we cannot use this one because the rule is you use the formula where the given um, use the formula where the variables from the given is present in your formula. Otherwise, you will have a problem. For example, you have less given, or let us say in this situation, yes, you don't have velocity final as given, so you cannot use this one. You follow? You don't also have velocity final, so you cannot use this formula. And for this equation, there is no acceleration, so you cannot use this one. So the most uh, perfect equation for this one, for this problem, is equation number 3, because we have the distance value or the displacement, we have the initial velocity, we have the time. So we are utilizing uh, all of our given in this equation. So moving on, we have distance is equals to VI times time plus 1/2 AT squared. And then in this problem, initial velocity is 0. Therefore, this term right here becomes 0. So we are left with D equals 1/2 AT squared. Do you follow? And then cross multiply, so that is D times 2. We have 2D. And then we have AT squared on the right side of the equation. And then we are interested with acceleration. So we want to know acceleration. So might as well divide this one with t squared. So we are removing t from this side of the equation because we want to solve for acceleration. So cancel t squared. So we are left with acceleration. So our formula now will be 2d divided by t squared. Substituting values, we have 2 times 50 divided by 10, which is the time, and then square. So our answer is 1 meter per second squared. So our answer now is 1 meter per second squared. Next, what is the velocity after 10 seconds? So we are asked of the final velocity. So we can use this formula because it has final velocity. And then initial velocity is 0, and acceleration, our computed acceleration is 1, and we can use the time. So we can use this formula for our letter B problem. So rearranging this formula, we'll have VF minus VI equals 80. So we cross multiply this one. So this is now our equation. And transferring VI, because we want to know the final velocity, transfer VI to the other side. Or simply, VI is already 0, so eliminate VI. So we are left with VF, transfer pa. So the value for VI is 0. So substituting values now, we have 0 plus 1 meter per second squared times time. Now, the square here is in the denominator, so we can cancel 1. We can cancel the s here, and we are left with 1s here. So our unit now will be meters per seconds. So multiply 1 times 10, that is 10 meters per second squared. So after 10 seconds, the final velocity, or at 10th, on the 10th second, the velocity now is at already 10 meters per second squared. So it started from 0 velocity. After 10 seconds, it will now be 10 meters per second squared. So we are able to compute the velocities, or the velocity after 10 seconds. We can also have it after 15 seconds or after 1 hour. What will now be the velocity? And then for this one, what will now be the acceleration? So the kinematic equations allow us to determine any variable that is unknown. As long as we are given with enough data, or we are given with enough given, we can compute for the rest of the variable that has to be computed. You follow? So, do you have questions? Any questions so far? Any questions? For a while, for a while. Do you have questions? Okay, correct. Now, for the rest of the time, we will you'll be answering. Oh no, it's only how much? Mga 18 minutes of the time. Kung ano, let us go over na lang, and then on Wednesday, gamay naman lang 15 minutes naman time. On Wednesday, we will have a quiz for this one, kinematic equations. So simple lang siya. So as long as you